Okay, hi everyone. This is Hippy Dippy. Now we're gonna be talking about Robotron 2084 and Dig Dug. I have played Dig Dug. I'll give my final thoughts on Dig Dug, but let's read about Robotron 2084. It was released an arcade game. It was developed by Williams. I have no idea if that company still exists, which it probably doesn't. In the early days of the arcades, only two things really matter to most developers: separating players from their money extremely quickly and simultaneously making sure they still want to come back for more that day. No designers were quite as efficient. I think that's what at this tricky task as Williams' legendary Eugene Jarvis, who made Defender. Okay, so we're going back into the Defender realm. It's the third time it's mentioned Defender, so. Well, then again, it's the same person who made fucking Defender. Offered spectacle and swift death aplenty, along with some of the most forward thinking machines of the age. That said, he outdid himself with Robotron 2084, a pixelated bloodbath that kills off most new players in around 15 seconds. So it's a new Dark Souls. It's the arcade of Dark Souls, apparently. That's what it's telling me. And that's pretty fucked up. Waste your quarters in 15 seconds and go ahead and die again. Leaving them stumbling back into daylight, proceeding what had just happened and wondering where all their loose chain had disappeared. Yeah, so you're pretty much paying to die, pretty much. That's what it says anyway. Even if it wasn't a compulsive masterpiece, Robotron 2084 would go down in history as the first twin stick shooter. Oh, so this is an arcade game, so there's two twin sticks in which the player moves with one joystick and fires in the direction with the other. It's simple in its premise, yeah, but tricky to master in such a huge degree of a control means that an unscrupulous game designers can choose to fling enemies at you from all directions. And that's precisely what Robotron 2084 does, introducing an entire ecology of deadly robots, some that are invulnerable to attack, others that spawn terrible minions that will run you over and shoot at you, and yet more than more more that merely followed you around hoping to overwhelm sheer numbers. I almost said sheer numbers, with a final wrinkle coming in the form of human family members collective for score boost. So it's basically Defender pretty much. Robotron 2084 is the action game reduced to its brilliance bare minimum. It may not look like much nowadays, but for modern games can match it for their sheer class. If you still on the fears, check it out. A decent port available on Xbox Live Arcade. I wish I could, but they shut the fucking service down, so you can't play this game anymore unless they have it on the Xbox Series X, which I don't think so. Or maybe they do. I don't know. So Robotron never played it. It feels like Dark Souls Defender pretty much. That's what it says to me because apparently people die in 15 seconds, which is not good. But hey, whatever. I'm not the type of person to. I'm not the type of person to do that. So this is going to be really interesting. So next up is Dig Dug. I have played Dig Dug. I played Dig Dug. I'm better at Dig Dug than fucking Pac Man and freaking Centipede and all those types of arcade games. I know Dig Dug very well. Okay, video game permitted between mining and mazes. Dig Dug casts you as a little chap, a pump who can effortlessly burrow through the ground. Each level with Dig Dug at the top of the solid solid block of earth. Yeah, if you stay up top, you will definitely get killed because all the enemies start going up there if you wait too long. Containing two types of BC, so the enemy pool variety of this game kind of fucking sucks, but it's very addictive to play. I know that. Spectacular red types known as pokies, pokas, are cute or cute dragons called fairgars. You are then charged with searching out the monsters before either forcing them so full of air that they burst. A rather sadistic exercise led an element of compulsion by having button multiple times to upright your pump or dropping rocks on their heads. That's kind of fucked up. Like you're pretty much telling people how to kill people on the ground, which I think is pretty fucked up to say the least. It's a slow-paced affair than you might expect from an early 1980s arcade game. Yeah, because back in the early 80s, I think the video game industry was more arcades were more fast-paced than the home consoles back in this day. Because the only game that was like Atari was the only home console at the time, I believe. And the fact you can see the enemy's positions and plan your route of attack adds a tactical element to the proceedings. Yes, it does. The final monster on each screen will make a dash to the surface for freedom. Yeah, they don't want to get killed. I would do the same shit. If all your buddies are dead, might as well try to escape for free. Always have to bear in mind the order in which you attack enemies, and to make things even trickier. You know what the other thing is? I think that when there's one enemy left, they go a lot faster to get to the end exit. The mazes you create in the ground can turn against you as Earth weakens, monsters escape, and rocks begin falling you. It's frantic stuff. Dig Dug's excellent shares more than a little common ground with Pac-Man, pretty much, except for you're actually doing more stuff than Pac-Man, because at least you're pumping and killing enemies, unlike Pac-Man, where he just runs away from fucking ghosts because he's a fucking pussy. I have a sadistic mind, man. It's the quick between hunter, hunter or and hunted. You start each level in the total control and gradually relinquish a little of the incentive with each attack. It means before having to fight a frantic regarded rear guard action. Finally, have to close out each level by stopping the last monster from escaping. A moment that can crush even the most soul-hearted of warriors. Now available on most of the download services or the old consoles, because I know it's on the PlayStation 2. Dig Dug simply means that it's lost little of its appeal. Fans so want to check out the sequel, which adds tilted perspective to the great success. So I have played Dig Dug. Dig Dug is a classic. Never played Robotron though, but Dig Dug is probably be one of my favorite arcade games of all time. That and Spy Hunter, but I don't know if Spy Hunter is going to be on this list. But I like Dig Dug. Dig Dug's an awesome game. So yeah. So what's the next two or four video games that we're gonna be talking next part? Okay. Ooh. Okay. So I have played Cobort. I played it at anime convention back in the day, so I know what Cobort is. I have played that game before. Mr. Do, Moon Patrol, and frickin' Miner 2049er. Never played it. So we're gonna be talking about three games I've never heard of, and I have played the other game. But I hope you guys have a nice positive day, and always stay positive.